Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the AEW review, the 1 year anniversary review, 10/14/20. Overall, not a bad show. Lots of things I liked. It did feel underwhelming for a 1 year anniversary show, though, at least for my taste. I was hoping for, a debut, a championship change, some sort of marker that you could literally look back and go, on the 1 year anniversary of this program, ABC happened. The fact they didn't do that, while I completely understand that this show made sense, at least for the first few years, 2, 3 years of the company, for me, since they don't have, for example, a night after WrestleMania, they don't have a night after the Royal Rumble. To me, the anniversary show should have been a night where something historic happens, so that 1 year ago today, 2 years ago today, 3 years ago today, etc. You can have tentpole moments. It's just a personal preference in booking. Anyway, so we open with a really good match, and that is the FTR versus Best Friends match. Trent and Chuck immediately are shining early, and they're in control of the match for the first few minutes till we go to commercial, and then FTR takes over during the commercial. Trent gets his knees up on an elbow drop, manages to tag to Chuck. Chuck hits a tope and a Falcon Arrow on Dax for near fall. Tully interferes, sweeping the leg of Chuck, and Chuck and Trent hit their soul food half and half combo for near fall. Trent hits a drop kick for near fall, and then match breaks down. All four come into the ring, and Chuck and Trent hit the strong zero for an awesome near fall in and of itself. Trent and Cash roll on the outside. Missed spear. They spear into Kip Sabian's arcade game. Sabian's mad by this. Chuck is tagged back in. He ducks a belt shot. Dax takes the referee. Cash hits Chuck with the title belt and roll up to retain the title. I found this to be really good. I know some people are thinking it's a notch or two lower, but for who they were in there with, and I really like the finish because it again puts the heat on the champions. I'm a major fan of this. Anyway, so post-match, Penelope Ford and Miro comes in, destroys Chuck Taylor and Trent. I'm not necessarily a fan of you broke my video game, therefore I'm going to start a feud with you, but it is what it is. Miro is in the ring for the next match. This is a match that could have been a complete throwaway and didn't need to happen. Miro and Kip Sabian with Penelope Ford defeat Lee Johnson and Sean Maluda. Miro and Sabian win a completely quick squash. They cut quick promos after the match. Basically, they're angry that their most prized possession has been damaged. Miro calls the best friends the good friends and say if you break his stuff, the game is over. Number one, I would let Sabian go. I don't see anything in him. Miro to me should be built as a next challenger, maybe not the next challenger, but as a very soon challenger to Jon Moxley, and that should be that. So I was not a fan of this segment. Lance Archer is beating up Moxley in the back here. Then they preview the Elimination Tournament that begins next week. First round matches, which I believe all happen next week, include but are not limited to Rey Fenix, Penta El Zoom, Joey Janela and Kenny Omega, Colt Cabana and Hangman Page, Wardlow and Jungle Boy. I assume this means Hangman Page wins, or maybe Kenny Omega wins the tournament. Those are, to me, the final Two in the tournament should be Page and Omega. Not quite sure where the battle between Phoenix and Penta is going. Hopefully one of them turns. That could be good. MJF calls out Chris Jericho. I really like this segment. They go back and forth. MJF gives Sammy Guevara a huge jacket that's like big enough for someone Andre the Giant size. Jericho says he hates watching Animal Planet. MJF says he might want to join the Inner Circle. Invites Jericho to a steak dinner next week on Dynamite. This segment goes too long, but the interaction between the two is great. I am completely looking forward to either. I see this going one of two ways. Either MJF joins the Inner Circle and Sammy Guevara gets kicked out, turns babyface, or MJF is not allowed to join the Inner Circle, and Jericho authorizes a turn on him, and it's Jericho and MJF. Either way, both of those programs have me minorly intrigued. Britt Baker role model video. Britt and Shivani were at the spa. There's talk of Tony being naked. Tony gets his chest waxed, and basically Britt Baker says she comes back next week. TNT Championship match. Cody and Orange Cassidy go to a time limit draw. Cody retains his championship, obviously, because of the draw. So Cody goes to taunt Orange, and Orange escapes. Cassidy hits a super kick, and a tope. Cody hits a springboard cutter and a disaster kick and a superplex. Works on the leg of his opponent, including tying it around the post. Cassidy comes back with a DDT off the top, not a DDP. Dallas Page nowhere to be found. And then Cassidy hits a second one of his beach fake finishes. Tries to cradle Cody using a crucifix. Cassidy hits the mousetrap cradle, and the bell rings for the time of draw. Alex Marvez is backstage with Lance Archer and Jake Roberts. Marvez says the world title match is in jeopardy after Archer is attacked. They do another pull apart with Archer and Moxley. Tony Schiavone interviews Matt Hardy in the crowd. This is another segment that doesn't need to be there. Matt says he's healthy and ready to return. Sammy Guevara video interrupts. Basically says he's going to put Hardy out again. I don't want to see these guys wrestle again. Nothing good ever happens when they do. And so I wish that they were just going in a different direction as far as feuds. Tony Schiavone's in the ring with Tully, FTR referees, and a lottery number. The four-way for the number one contendership for the tag belt is announced for next week. Private Party, Butcher and Blade, Alex Reynolds and John Silver, and the Young Bucks are drawn. Obviously, this means Young Bucks win, because if not, that's just stupid. Young Bucks shake hands with FTR, and then they tease a confrontation. Instead, Young Bucks lay out Private Party, Butcher, and Blade with super kicks. Main event is officially announced as a no DQ match here. They don't hype this until the show's already began, but Shida defeats Big Swole for the women's championship. I mean, they keep putting this in the same segment every week, the match before the main event, as far as the women's thing go. I think they need to shake up that formula a little bit. Also, the commercial in the middle doesn't help. Both ladies shake hands, quick cradles for near falls, and a series of strikes to establish an advantage. Knee lift by Shida, and then during the break, Shida sends Swole over the barricade and suplexes her back in on the floor. Swole tries a crucifix bomb. Sheeta blocks. Swole goes for a sunset bomb off the top, but does not, basically there's a botched spot. Swole hits a cutter on the ramp. Ouch. And then Sheeta goes for a German suplex, gets a 2 count out of that, and hits a Falcon Arrow, gets a 2 count out of that. Swole hits her finish. Sheeta kicks out. Well, there's the way to kill a finish. Sheeta hits a running knee, back of the head, and then hits a Shining Wizard for Swole to retain. They show Nyla Rose in the front row post-match. Sheeta and Rose still looks to be where they're going at some point. If Rose wins the championship a second time, I think that's a step backwards for the division, although I don't think this division is being booked in a way where anybody cares who wins, other than the fact that Sheeta being a long-running champion might intrigue some people. Cody and Orange Cassidy will have a rematch for the TNT Championship 2 weeks from now. Eddie Kingston, Penta, and Phoenix come out to the announce desk. The announcers throw to a Shawn Spears video. He says he's not stalking Scorpio Sky, saying that 3 times fast. Spears reminds us that Sky saves Matt Sydal when he was beating him down on Late Night Dynamite, and that there's an axe to grind between the two. Main event up next. And so basically this is a no DQ brawl around. I felt underwhelmed by it, the fact that they had been promoting it for a month, and this is what we get. Archer goes through the entrance, tossing extras out of the way. Moxley hits a kick and the paradigm shift right away, which was cool. An immediate 2 count, making winning mean more than normal. And then Archer takes control, and we go to commercial. We come back. Moxley makes a comeback. Moxley hits a paradigm shift in the ring after hitting one through 2 tables. Archer kicks out, and then Moxley goes for the choke out. Archer gets out of that too. Archer hits a DDT and a blackout. Moxley rolls through the blackout and used a crucifix to pin Archer. Odd that we see the crucifix twice in one night as an almost finish. Archer attacks after the match. Kingston comes down and orders Penta and Phoenix in the ring to make a save. Kingston cuts a babyface promo. He says that he and Moxley have been friends forever. They had a good fight for the championship a few weeks ago. Kingston never tapped. Kingston and Moxley said that Moxley carried the company for a year. He ordered Penta and Phoenix to raise Mox's hand. Kingston hits a spinning back fist and a rear naked choke. Penta and Phoenix run interference to keep officials from breaking this up. Kingston chokes Moxley out. He said he never tapped, and he's going to get Moxley. To me, this just screams that they don't have a real strong challenger. So I'm not a fan of this, where other people might be. Anyway, that is your Dynamite review. Really good show in terms of in-ring action in a couple of spots, lacking in other spots. Overall, still worth watching, and better than NXT this week. Anyway, we'll be back with the NXT review. Till next time, keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment.